on.
Can you hear that too when it says recording in progress?
I have to push OK.
Oh, it tells you.
I have to accept it.
Oh.
But I've accepted it. I've accepted my fate.
God. Anyways.
So.
All right. So here we are. Episode 3.
3. Should I do it this way or the other way? Wow, this is on the laptop. It's totally different.
What do you mean this way or the other way?
Well, when I have it this way, it's just when I do it this way, it's like
I nothing changed on my end, so
well,
it just was you doing this or this. So it was fun.
Here we go with our awkward beginnings.
Oh gosh. Anyway.
Did you saw that thing when the guy was like, or the girl, it was like another podcast, and they're like, when people start off their podcast like, hello,
hey guys.
And literally that's how we started episode 2.
Oh,
hey.
Anyway, well, we're not starting this one like that because we're getting real.
Gonna get real. We're gonna do some real talk tonight.
Real talk.
That's how you send it.
We send each other too much stuff.
I know. We gotta settle down.
Right. So, just so people know what we're talking about.
Could you just give a little something if like we're not married yet, I'm headed towards marriage, okay? I'm gonna do that right now. This is a gold nugget of advice I was given by a mentor. Okay, so this is free. Can y'all handle that? Okay, this is free. Okay. Now first, let me do this. So let me talk to the guys first. Guys, when it comes to her wedding day, she has been planning this day her entire life. She got her first wedding magazine when she was 14. She draped the blanket around her like it was her wedding dress when she was a teenager. She did the towel over her head. It was a little veil, all the stuff. She's been planning this day her whole life. So here's what you need to do, man. When it comes to that day, just stand where she tells you to stand, wear what she tells you to wear, and do what she tells you to do. You'll make her the happiest woman in the world, okay? Now, I got an amen. Let's see if you amen this. Now, ladies, when it comes to his wedding night, he has been planning this day his whole life. So just stand where he tells you to stand, wear what he tells you to wear, and do what he tells you to do, and you're gonna make him the happiest man in the world. That's it, man. Okay, that was free.
Sure, he was talking to a church in Dallas, and it was 2 new couples.
Yeah.
Hold on, I have it right here. So it was Texas and SBC megachurch pastor Josh Howerton told the brides that on the wedding night how they should basically act. And when I listened to it, I got a little bit confused, but I'm really glad that you clarified, because at first I was like, this is really confusing. But then I did end up listening to the podcast because it's Bare Marriage. And on episode 230, they talk about it a little bit more in detail. And then I did end up listening to about 40 minutes of it. And I was like, what in the world? And so they touched some pretty interesting points. And even they clarified more so what you said, oh, so it's only important for the woman during the daytime, the ceremony part, and then for the man, all that matters is the nighttime. And I thought that was pretty crooked.
Yeah, well, I mean, basically that we're discussing.
Oh, my freaking light.
There we go. This can't be flawless, can it? Oh my gosh, that's funny.
He talks about what men expect from women, and how it's actually a pornified mindset. And so because in pornography, you have, the guy is able to just choose exactly what he wants. He chooses exactly how the woman is dressed. And so that made me raise my eyebrows a little bit. because it's a sexual entitlement, and it causes a scene of sorry, it's like a woman, like the woman has to submit to the scene and how the man wants them to look and what they want them to do. And so I thought that was an interesting connection that they put, because I never
Well,
thought of it that way.
yeah, I mean, I'm always one to try to be like, okay, well, what did he really mean? And try to be like, maybe he just didn't choose his words right, you know? Was trying to get across, I'm hoping, was just taken wrong and it was poorly executed, so that it was then, you know, misconstrued in this way that it, you know, his words were terrible with what he said.
He was
Yeah, like, oh, okay, because
misconstrued.
obviously, you know, he starts with the woman's perspective being like, oh, you know, on her wedding day, this is the most important day of her life. She's been dreaming of this, blah, 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 blah. Stand where she wants you to stand, wear what she wants you to wear, do what she tells you to do. So I get him using that same terminology in speaking of the man and the wedding night. But my issue with it is that I guarantee you that's not every man's thought the whole day.
No.
You know? And if it is, then they're getting married for the wrong reasons.
For the absolute wrong reason. Well, and then it also brings up some questions about like rape culture and like the, you know.
Yeah. And that's what they talk about in the, you know, they say that in the post that I had shared with you, you know, that unfortunately in these religious groups, which again I could go on about
which is
why
exactly
I struggle with church, you know, and being part of churches because I don't trust it, you know. I trust the Lord, I trust Jesus, I trust my relationship with, but I don't trust the churches because these are the things that come out from them, and these are the messages being sent to our children and our young girls, and you know, that's not right. It's not right. And girls are taught to look up to your pastor, to trust them. And if these are the words coming out of their mouths,
it's very questionable.
how are we supposed to tell our kids to trust the pastors and you know, and the heads of churches and religious, you know, industries and all that? It's just, there's my problem with it and why I have no issue with not being a part of a church and having my own relationship with God and with Christ. And
well, and I think that plays even a really important role in what exactly is your faith based on. You know, my faith is based on the Bible, on God's word. It's not on what somebody else's opinion is, what somebody else is going to tell me on Sunday morning. And that's a big reason why I like the community that I'm a part of, is that we all get to speak. We all get to, it's not just one person. You know, we're all sharing our enjoyment through the week, and you know, that's how we build each other up. Anyway, that's different, but like, and so just being careful with your words, and like even like the people, you know, whoever's going to speak, you better be in direct contact with God before you stand up and you share, because what you're going to say can either build people up or it's going to build them down. And that's where I have a really big problem with that guy saying what he said, because and to the group that he said it to. He said it to young couples, young brides who were, you know, or you know, men and women who are going to get married, and it's like, who do you think you are to say that kind of stuff? You like, you know, and of course I have some verses. I would no, like, because again, like, solidify what I'm talking about to back it up. In Ephesians 4:29, it talks about, let no corrupting talk come out of your mouths, but only such as is good for building up, as fits the occasion, that it may give grace to those who hear. Because our words should be uplifting and encouraging to all, male or female, and love, kindness, and respect for everyone, no matter what gender, belief, religion, whatever. It doesn't matter, because if you don't, if you're coming from a place of, let me share some words that you know, someone gave to me, it's like, already right there, I feel like he came from a very fleshly hurt place.
Yeah.
He was nowhere in how can you say that when you are in direct contact? Like, those are not words from God. That's
No.
that's not, you're not building anybody up by saying that.
No.
You're bringing down women in their perspective, and then you're
Yeah.
demeaning men actually, because you're making them look like garbage, because then that means that all they care about is sex.
Yeah.
Women who choose to wait until marriage, I can kind of talk about it a little bit, because that was my intention. I didn't. I ended up doing whatever. I was with a person that I did end up marrying, but let me tell you something. I was really naive. And I thought that that was it, I thought, but thank God had other plans for me. And so, kind of like what we were talking about earlier, it's like, I don't know where I'm going with this, but he really ruffled my feathers.
Yeah, well, that was why I had to bring it up to you, being like, we need to discuss this, because when my sister shared it, I was like, whoa, okay, that's a problem. That is. And look, I've made it, not on this yet, because this is only episode 3, so not everybody knows everything about me yet, but I've made it very clear to everyone in my life, I am not big on the feminist movement and all of that, equal rights thing, because I feel like we do have very equal rights, and all this stuff. I feel like masculinity still needs to be in the world. We need to acknowledge its roles and all that stuff. So I'm all about a man being a man in the relationship, and a man taking leadership, and a man guiding the family. Like, that's what I do believe in, that 100%. But there is a time and a place where it crosses a line of abuse.
Yes.
And there's a level of respect to be had between a man and a woman that you don't cross, of just being like, okay, well, now we're here, so now you're basically just my slave. And that was the message I got from what that pastor said, was in the bedroom, you do what he says, no matter what. And I'm sorry, sex is very, very different for women, especially for the first time. I mean, let's be real. Like, we're going to be unfiltered here. It's not fun. It's not enjoyable for the first time for a woman at all.
So it's painful.
Exactly. Extremely painful. So that gives even more reason why a man should not expect a woman to just do whatever he wants. A man should be sensitive to that.
Yes.
And caring and loving to the woman, especially if it's
on the first
time.
Exactly. I agree.
Knowing what her body is going through, So for a pastor to say that is just appalling to me. Like, you're not an idiot. You know how the human body works. Like, so for you to say to a woman, just, basically, pardon my French, but bend over and take it. You've got to be kidding me. You know? Like,
it's awful. I don't know how to, like, makes me.
It's skeezy. It's super skeezy. It's super skeezy. And again, it makes me just really question some churches, and I know not all are like that. I know nothing is an absolutes. I know that nothing in life is an absolutes, but this is just one of the many reasons why.
Well, and I think for you and a lot of people have that kind of issue. I think it's rightful. I think it's a rightful feeling to feel upset about that.
Because I was always raised, when I was a kid, it was like the church should have been a safe place. And I just feel like nowadays it's just, in so many ways in the world, it's just all going the wrong way. It's just going the wrong way.
It's and it's corrupt. It's corrupted because because unfortunately we live in a time where where the enemy is in charge.
Yeah.
He does have a true role in this world. He is the king of this world. Actually, that makes me think of another verse. Because there was of course I can't quote it because I don't have it written down, but it talks about how the mind can be filtered out. Like Satan can literally put these clouds, like this veil in your
Mm-hmm.
mind, and so that you're not seeing clearly.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know, but
Yeah.
that unfortunately that's the world we live in, and it's crummy to say, but it's not going to get better.
No.
It's not going to get better unless you truly know and are firm in what you believe in.
Yeah.
If you're not firm in what you believe in, yeah, you're going to get washed away, and you're going to get taken right away by the enemy himself. And he will do what he wants if you allow it. If you don't, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's the right thing to say, but
No, you're right. I
I
agree
feel
with
like
you.
in a lot of ways, if I'm not careful, he's the devil,
Mm-hmm.
he'll play tricks on you. He'll play tricks on
Mm-hmm.
your mind. And but that's what I really appreciate about God, is that he has given us a will to choose, and we can choose.
Mm-hmm.
We get the option to choose to turn to him, to give him the right of way in our life, to give
Mm-hmm.
him the first place in our decisions, and what we say and how we act. And
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what was I gonna say? I had a thought and it left
because I rambled on,
because I'm running on 3 brain cells
I'm
per
sorry.
usual. No.
Do you want to try again tomorrow?
No. No,
Okay.
I think we're doing fine.
I'm
No,
sorry, it was such a late start, man.
it's okay.
They came over,
Um,
and it's this new friend down the couple doors down.
don't make new friends. Like we've
No,
talked about this. Just
I'm not
stop.
I'm not making new friends. Arlene's making new friends, and she's
Like,
wilding out with
get the
them.
fuck out of here.
You don't need new friends.
Um,
No new friends.
oh, um, oh, okay. This is what I wanted to get on our last point of the 3, like, watch your words, men, not whatever, being the leader, but not whatever. But that sex should be enjoyable between a man and a woman.
Right.
Like, this is not, it's not the 1940s. Like, women like it too.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're allowed to say we like
And
it.
we're allowed to, and you should want your woman to like it. And if you're a real man, you're gonna want your woman to like it. It's not just about you. And that's my thing too. Like, okay, obviously, Matt and I are getting married in November, and yes, we have a child together. So obviously, put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
We haven't saved ourselves for marriage.
Right.
But the thing is, I know that he's not thinking of that night. That's not what he's thinking about. I mean, it's probably crossing his mind.
You
Like,
know
of
what's
course.
funny though is the night that the day that Dan and I got married, we got home and we fell asleep. We did nothing. We did nothing. I think I got my dress, like the process of getting my dress off wore me out.
Too exhausting.
So exhausting. I was like, we'll do this another night. Good night. We're going to sleep. We did nothing. We did nothing, actually.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. I'm like, I know that that's not what he's going to be thinking about when I'm walking down the aisle.
Yeah, no.
Like, I know that, like, that's not why he's going to have tears in his eyes, which he better have tears in his eyes.
That's what I told Dan. I said, if you don't look like you're crying, I'm turning around.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's so crazy to me. I feel like that's such a barbaric thought process,
It is. And especially if there's women out in that crowd who are like, again, saving themselves for that night.
Yeah.
It's like,
and they think that's what it needs to be like because they don't know any better.
That's what they are expecting. They're expecting to literally just be told what to do and how to do it. And that is
abuse starts. And
that's how abuse starts. And that's naive. That's very naive. And I don't mean to call any woman out who is saving themselves to call them naive. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that they need to be smart.
Yeah.
You have a say in the work, in the process. In fact, you should be, I don't know,
leading.
you
I
should
think
be
it should,
leading as your first time. You should say, okay, that's too much, or this is not whatever, you need to
100%.
do a little bit extra work or whatever. I don't know.
Do a little bit extra. I like that.
I work a little bit harder. It's not doing it for me, but like I like having sex. And so to be able to say that I enjoy it, I know that I am with someone who does take care of me in that
way.
in that way. And that's the way a man should be. He should be very caring and very attentive to the woman's need. And and honestly, it can go both ways, but that's a partnership. That's not.
But I feel like most people know, it's I don't think it's ever painful for men,
No, I don't
but
think so. If it is,
it's
then they have a problem.
they need to go to the doctor. But there's many times where it can be painful for women, and that needs to be handled, sensitively, and not treated like, well, you just need to make him happy, so you need to just do it
take
and
it.
deal with
No.
it. And it's like,
Right.
no,
Yeah.
it's not. I don't want my daughter to ever get that message. Are you kidding me? Like,
and there's a process in how to. Why is your thing
because
wobbling?
I accidentally kicked the
like, whoa, did you just hit an effect? It's like
wah, wah, wah. No, sorry.
Yeah, no, but I mean there's a process to, when there's a process, and you make out, that's why there's the bases. There's base 1, 2, and then 3, and then you hit home. It's not just you go home. You gotta ease your way into the process.
It's what baseball is all about.
What baseball is all about. It's the only time I ever appreciated it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Uh-oh. Can you hear me still?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. It was just this headphone died. Okay. I just heard that. Do, 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 do.
I thought, well, that one didn't even work.
No, sometimes it works. Today it worked.
You gotta go old school. This is where it's at.
I know. I do.
I don't have to charge nothing except my phone. My phone is like 20%, and I was like, well, I guess we're gonna do the laptop tonight.
Oh crap! Why did I say something so stupid? And he didn't really mean it that way.
And
I feel bad for him, because I feel bad because he's getting blasted all over the internet for what he said. But
yeah,
it's like,
but as someone in a position that he's in, he needs, again, just to touch back on it, he needs to be careful with what he says.
Yeah.
You are someone that a lot of people look up to.
Yeah.
I was looking through his YouTube. A lot of people look, and then even on that video, the video that I sent you with the whole clip, where he's in it, like, people didn't even comment on his statement. No one said anything about it. I was about ready to say something, and I was like, no, let me not do anything. But nobody said anything about it, and like that's scary. That's scary that nobody speaks out against him. Is speaking out against him.
Well, somebody started to, because they obviously shared that post. So,
that's true. I don't know if it was them, the Bear Marriage podcast, but I mean, good for them. Good for them for bringing it up and then blasting it out, because and you know what? It's really crazy to me is that it is a problem, but it's not talked about.
No.
It's not talked about at all.
No.
It's actually like one of
swept under the rug big time.
It's one of those things that it's like, hold on a second. Hold that person accountable for what they are saying. Or God touches him in some kind of way, makes him realize you don't say those kinds of things, especially. And then I did bring up the pornified mindset, because they did bring that up in the Bear Marriage. And I thought it made a lot of sense, because I don't even say men, but people can choose exactly what they want to see. They want to see what such and such, they can just it's like instant gratification. Instant
Mhm.
gratification of exactly what they want to see, and they get to see exactly what they're looking for. So to expect to have that in the bedroom with someone that you're supposed to build a life with is not real life.
Can I say something that's like super, I don't even know,
Just say
uh,
it. We're unfiltered. Be unfiltered.
but it's kind of against the Bible.
Just fucking say it.
So this is my issue then, like what this pastor says kind of makes me go, well, then is saving yourself for marriage really necessarily the best idea? Because then I'm thinking, so is this what Christian men think? Is this all they think of on their wedding day? Because
Mm-hmm.
they've never had sex before, so this is what's flooding their brain the whole day,
Mm-hmm.
instead of thinking about the fact that they're marrying the love of their life and they're getting to spend the
Mm-hmm.
rest of it. Like, what's their main focus that day?
Mm-hmm. Well, to me, I think if you are in the right mindset and you're getting married for the right reasons, you realize that marriage, yes, it's between a man and a woman, but it's also a bigger picture.
Well, no, like I understand what marriage is, but what I'm
Yeah.
saying
The
is,
the picture of it is my point. The picture
no,
of
like, but what is it doing to these young men waiting?
it. Mm-hmm.
Is that their soul is, from what this pastor said, the impression I then get is, oh, so Christian men who wait, that's all they're thinking about that night, that day and that night.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I think
Like,
that's I think that's one perspective though. I hope that not all Christian men who
but
are
that,
looking.
but that's what I'm saying. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why it's so messed up what he said.
Yeah.
Because what I take from that then is, well, then waiting till marriage probably isn't a good idea if
Mm-hmm.
that's all that this guy's thinking of.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because that's not the point. That
What did
shouldn't
that guy?
be his
That guy.
reason for marriage. You know, because
Yeah.
it almost makes it seem like that's the reason for marriage, is to be able to go have sex that night.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what he's been waiting for. That's what he's been thinking about. That's what he, been leading up to. And you're going to make him the happiest man alive.
Mm-hmm.
You should be making him the happiest man alive, because you're going to spend the rest of your life with him and give him
Mm-hmm.
a family and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Not because you're going to have sex with him that night.
Mm-hmm. A lot of issues because yeah, if they're going in for that reason and that reason only, man, they got a lot of problems coming because
Yeah.
you're in it for the wrong reason. You're in it
Yeah.
for the
Like, it's
wrong reason.
hard for me to speak on the whole, that the testament or the commandment, you know, that
Well,
sex
I
is a
have a
gift of God given to married couples, because, you know, I purposely had a child out of wedlock. So
question.
it's like, I can't sit here and preach any of that because, you know,
Well, I'm wondering, so like the command, is that even a commandment to
yeah.
save yourself? It is. Okay,
Mhm.
but now my next question, is it in the Old Testament?
Yes.
Okay.
All of the
So,
commandments are in the Old Testament.
okay, so I have a point I'm trying to build up to. So the commandments in the Old Testament is the law, right? That's an old way of thinking. The New Testament is now has brought up a new way of living. God made all those laws in the Old Testament. In the New Testament, now you have something different to live by. You now have your spirit to live by. God died, came into man, and now lives in us as a spirit, as the spirit, right? And he speaks through us, and that's what we should be following, not necessarily the laws, the old laws. That's kind of my feeling. That's my way of thinking. And that's almost the same perspective of, if it doesn't bother me, if I don't have a bad feeling about it, then I'm not going to necessarily stop
Yeah.
doing what I'm doing until God touches me about it.
Yeah. I
That's
hear you.
but
Okay,
that's
I hear you.
but that so like the other, there's a lot of other commandments that are broken all of the time. All the
Well,
time.
and that's the thing that's always so
Sin is
But
sin. Sin is sin.
exactly, sin is sin, and taking the Lord's name in vain,
Yes.
feeling envious toward your neighbor, all these things that we all do every single day,
Every single day.
multiple times a day, even though we wake up and go, today's gonna be a good day. I'm not gonna get angry today. Today's gonna be the day I'm really living Christ-like,
Yeah.
and then it doesn't
And then
happen.
something happens. But
Yeah.
that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of being a believer, is like that we have the hope, and that we have the opportunity every single day and every single moment to choose God, and to choose him. Okay, yes, I messed up 5 minutes ago. I messed up 5 minutes ago, but now I'm going to take the next five
Oh my
minutes and I'm
gosh,
going
your
to
cat just scared the crap out of me.
did you
Sorry.
think my hair
I
was
didn't
coming
know
off of
what
my
was
head?
happening. I was like, what?
Ooh. I know, he gets back there and then I forget he's there too. I saw him out of the corner of my eye and I was like, whoa, big fur ball coming out from my shoulder. I got a dust.
Anyway,
Freaking cat.
yeah.
But yeah, like it goes a lot, like that's kind of my perspective. The Old Testament has the laws and the commandments, and it has because God hadn't English because God wasn't living in man the way that he is now in this day and age, right? We have God as the Spirit who guides us.
Yeah.
So yes, the Old Testament's very important. It sets up the New Testament. And a lot of times when you read the Old Testament or you read the New Testament, there's a lot of corresponding verses that match up, and I do think they are both, it's a full book, 66 books, right? It's all one thing. But the Old Testament is full of laws and rules that God made because he didn't die yet. He didn't die, and he didn't become the Spirit, the capital S, who lives inside of us now, into our spirit, it's just my perspective.
I like it.
I don't have a verse to back
I'll
it up.
accept it. Oh man.
I wasn't
Sorry,
planning on
we're
talking
just
about
fighting
that.
these colds.
I'm probably getting one. Charlotte, man, is a mess. She threw up twice today, a bunch of mucus.
Ugh.
Both times with like when we were around the neighbors, and I was like, oh, this is embarrassing. I was like, she'll be all right. I'm just gonna go get her in the bath. And I hope
my God. Sorry, we took Mackie, to the dog beach.
Excuse me.
And I let her go in her bathing suit because she likes to play in the water and stuff. And and it was like 78 degrees today. So for here, that's chilly,
a little bit,
that's cold. And so then she was done playing in the water. She's hanging out with Matt and stuff. And I'm looking at her. I'm like, Matt, her lips are purple.
Oh my God.
like
Mackie.
He's like, no, she's fine. She's fine. I was like, he goes, her feet aren't purple. She's fine. I look, I go, her feet are purple. Like she's so cold. Yeah. She's like, snot's pouring out of her face.
It's good for her. It's detoxing. She's getting all those boogers out.
Oh my God.
Oh,
so we had to like get her change. I found socks in the diaper bag. I'm like throwing socks on her. So she had socks on with her little slide sandals. I was like, this is such a fashion faux pas, but whatever. You'll deal.
Closest thing we got to a beach is a creek. We got a creek over here. I go play in the creek. In the creek.
In the creek.
In the creek.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's you said it was 78. It's 57 right now. Ooh. And it's gonna go down to 36 tonight. So yeah.
Tonight's low is 62. So that's pretty nipply.
That is nipply for y'all. Probably those ice baths are really good for you. I would do it. I used to take cold showers on purpose.
I would take cold showers after a really hard workout.
Well, that's reasonable.
Like if I was really hot. I don't like being cold.
That's my vibe right there.
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah.
I feel
Bundle
like
up. Bundle up in a blanket. baby. It's
I
funny though,
don't.
last night I was so cold. My hands were so cold last night, and so I would get in bed and I'm like getting all snuggly and I put my hands up Dan's shirt and he's like, "Ah, excuse you, get your hands out of there. Why are they in there?"
Oh my God, that's funny.
Yeah, I was like, you know you like it. Good, because it's definitely my bedtime. Oh, lights off.
Your light's like, we're done. Good night.
Tonight is my lights. The other
Yeah.
night's for your lights.
Which is a little too detailed sometimes, in my opinion.
That's what I was saying. I was like, let me have a little pixel so you can't see every
I
detail.
know. I was like, I'm just fucking
You
old.
could,
You look way smoother than I do right
that's
now.
because
His is
the
like,
camera. But that's what I'm saying
okay.
because that's because this camera is garbage.
And appreciate a garbage camera. Instead, Matt's like, here, no. Let them see it all. You're
Have the
unfiltered.
have the 4K.
Exactly. That's what this
Like I
is.
walked it up because you were like sending me the link. I was like, I gotta go. I gotta go. She's waiting for me.
You're like, that's the sign.
I'm like, I'm in trouble. I gotta walk these dogs, get inside, get my ass down, and sit down, and get in front of the camera.
Oh my
Forget
God.
about the makeup. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you can tell I really didn't even brush my hair.
No,
I
you
got this
sure
going
didn't.
on.
I hope you put deodorant on because people will be smelling you.
I did shower after the
Oh,
beach.
good.
I was like, Matt, I
Thank
have to
God.
shower. I didn't wash my hair though, but you knew that. Because this girl never washes her hair. Oh my God.
Washing hair is overrated. I wash my hair twice a
Totally.
week now. You'd be proud.
God, I wash my hair once every 10 days.
How? That's amazing. I'm proud of you. I wish I could do. I mean, I washed my hair
It's great.
today.
I'm gonna get Mackie on the same trend because I don't like to wash her hair either.
Let me tell you, I don't even know when the last time I washed Arlene's hair was. I don't know. I don't know. But her hair is so nice and it doesn't ever get oily because I don't wash her hair.
Well, that's fine. Because your hair only produces, I think it's like the more you wash it, the more oil it produces.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, because like I work out 5 days a week and I still don't wash my hair.
Girl, you nasty.
It's annoying.
You are
I hate
nasty.
washing my hair.
I hope Matt doesn't like get his nuzzle up in your hair and sniff it.
Sniffing it.
Yeah.
He hasn't complained yet, so
Oh, he hasn't complained yet.
it's been almost 6 years. I think we're good.
Yeah, you're good. You're good by now. Oh, here goes the light.
Oh gosh. All right. Well,
We wave in front of it. There it goes. Oh, turned off. Oop.
all right. Well, I need to go. Oh,
Yeah.
take some cold medicine and go to bed.
Yeah, and you go squirt some allergy medicine up my nose because my eyes are getting itchy.
Okay.
All right. Well, until next week
Until next week. Or
for episode 4.
All right. I'll see you later.